Hey guys, welcome back to Stock My Closet. For today's project, I have taken 2 meter rayon fabric and 2 meter white cotton lace. And this is a measurement I'm using. You can adjust it according to your requirement. Let's start with the cutting. I folded the fabric by half in width and now I'll cut out the body's length, which I'm taking 17 inch, including 1 inch for seam allowance. Now I'll cut it out. So this is front length. Now I'll cut the same length for back. So I've cut out the body's length and now I'll mark the measurements. I have taken front and back length together and I have folded the fabric according to the required width, that is widest measurement on the body's burst measurement. I'll use this leftover fabric for neck finishing. Firstly, I'll mark the length, that is 16.5 inch. Now for shoulder, take half of shoulder width. In my measurement, shoulder width is 14.5 inch. Half of it will be 7.25 inch. Neck width is 3 inch. Mark half inch downwards for shoulder slope and join it to the neck width point. Now from this point, I'll mark half of armhole round, that is 7 inch in my measurement. I have extended this point. Now I'll mark 1 inch inwards for front armhole curve and join it to the shoulder slope point. Now from the top, mark a point at 10.5 inch shoulder to burst measurement and 15 inch shoulder to waist measurement. Extend these points and now I'll mark the round measurements. For chest, I'm adding 3 inch of ease. In my measurement, chest round is 35 inch. 35 plus 3 is 38 and dividing it by 4, I'll get 9.5 inch. For burst, again I'm adding 3 inch of ease. In my measurement, burst round is 36 inch. 36 plus 3 is 39 and dividing it by 4, I'll get 9.75 inch. For waist, again I'm adding 3 inch of ease. In my measurement, waist round is 31 inch. 31 plus 3 is 34 and dividing it by 4, I'll get 8.5 inch. Join these points. Now I'll mark midpoints on all round measurements. Chest is 9.5 inch, so half of it will be 4.75 inch. Burst is 9.75 inch, so half of it will be 4.9 inch. And waist is 8.5 inch, half of it will be 4.25 inch. Shoulder is around 4 inch, so midpoint will be 2 inch. Now I'll join these points. Adding quarter inch of seam allowance. On the sides, I'm adding 2.5 inch of seam allowance, which if required, I'll trim after joining panels. I'll cut armholes again after joining center and side panels, and now I'll cut it out. So I've cut the bodies, now I'll cut the bottom. For bottom, I'm making gathered skirt. So I've folded the fabric by half in width and now I'll mark the length, which will be full length of tunic top minus body's length. In my measurement, full length is 32 inch, body's length is 16 inch. 32 minus 16 is 16. So skirt length is 16 inch and I'm adding 2 inch for seam allowance. So I have marked point at 18 inch. So I have marked two lengths, one for front and one for back. And I'm taking whole width of fabric, that is 21 inch. This is on fold. So I have cut out the bottom. Now I'll cut the ruffle. To cut ruffle, I have folded the fabric twice in width. Length is 8 inch. I'll just cut it by half. So I have marked a point at 4 inch. Join these points and cut it out. So this is a ruffle. This is on fold side. On this side, I'll mark a point at 2 inch. Now I'll mark the body's length, that is around 16 inch. adding half inch for seam allowance. So this will be the body's length and this part is for gathers. You can increase length if you want more gathers. Now I'll join these points like this and I'll cut it out. This is to give slight shape to the ruffle. I'll join this side with the bodies and on this side I'll attach lace. To attach lace I have marked seam allowance on the ruffle. Now taking this as guiding line, keep the lace on the fabric, right sides together and make a stitch. So I have attached the lace and this is how it will look. Now to finish the edges, fold the seam allowance twice like this and make a stitch on the inner edge to secure it. So I have attached the lace and this is how it looks. Now on the opposite side I'll make basting stitch to add gathers. So I made basting stitch and this is the final ruffle. Similarly I'll prepare the other ruffle. So here I have bodies, both front and back sides. Before joining ruffle, I'll cut neckline on the center panel. Neck width is 3 inch. Neck depth is 6 inch, adding half inch for seam allowance. Again mark neck width point 3 inch. Join these points and I'll draw round shape neckline and I'll cut it out. Now I'll make stitch on the shoulder of both center panel and side panel. So I made a stitch on shoulder of both center and side panels and this is how it looks. Now I'll attach ruffle. Place the ruffle on the center panel, right sides together like this and pin it up. So I have pinned it up. Now I'll place side panel on the ruffle like this and I'll make a stitch. I have matched and pinned up shoulder of center and side panel and now I'll start stitching from the shoulder to the bottom. So I made a stitch. Similarly I'll stitch the other side. So I've attached the ruffle. Now I'll overlock it. I've overlocked it, and this is how the ruffle will look. So I've attached ruffle on both sides. Now I'll remark the body's measurement and I'll cut armholes. Shoulder is 7.25 inch. Mark 1 inch inwards for front armhole curve. Join it to the shoulder slope. Chest is 9.5 inch. Bust is 9.75 inch. And waist is 8.5 inch. Join these points, marking seam allowance. Now I'll draw front and back armhole curves and I'll cut it out. Fold bodies like this to cut front armhole curve. Now I'll finish neckline and armholes using bias tape. I'm skipping that part. I already have a detailed video on how to use bias tape to make necklines or armholes. You can check it out. Now I'll finish the skirt part. To finish the bottom round, fold the seam allowance twice like this and make a stitch on the inner edge to secure it. So I finished the bottom round and this is how it will look. Now on the waist, I'll make basting stitch. For basting stitch, you just need to select the highest stitch length on your sewing machine and make a straight stitch. So I made a basting stitch. Now I'll attach bodies and bottom. To adjust gathers, pull the bobbin thread and adjust gathers according to the body's waist. Now place the bodies on the bottom, right sides together and make a stitch on the waist. So I made a stitch. Now I'll overlock it. So I've overlocked it. Now similarly, I'll attach back bodies and bottom. So I've attached bodies and bottom on both front and back side. Now I'll stitch side fitting seam. Similarly, I'll stitch the other side. And with this, my tunic top is ready and this is how it looks. Thanks for watching guys. Hope you like this pattern. If you try it, do share your creation with me on social media. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family and do subscribe my channel for more such videos. I'll see you next week. Till then, take care. Bye bye.